Alright, what's up guys? In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the brand new LMG, the Bruin MK9. We're going to be going over the basic stats of this weapon, as well as 3 different class setups, and then obviously breaking down all of the attachments and tell you guys how they actually affect this weapon. This is a very unique LMG. It is literally an exact hybrid of an LMG and a assault rifle. There's a lot of things you guys can do that make an assault rifle, but the base stats of the weapon makes it an LMG. There is one major positive about this weapon that I think is the most important, and it runs on 5.56 ammo. There's no other guns in the game that are any other, really good guns besides this one that come with that, so you can loot all those ground, those M4 sweats. That is one of the biggest things I found that's best about it. The one thing that 5.56 ammo changes is the damage profile. Most LMGs only have 1 damage range draw. With this being a gun that has assault rifle ammo, it does have 2 damage range draw-offs, which is kind of a big negative, but it is still very good. So it comes with the base damage range of all of the normal LMGs, which is a 34-30 damage profile. Like I said, with the extra damage range off, it drops down to about 24, which is somewhat of a big negative. Does obviously make it more of an LMG AR hybrid. Everything about this gun is average as far as the range of fire rate, the damage, everything across the board is average for it. The reason it is such a good gun, I'm going to tell you guys in the very beginning, this right now is ranked in my top 5 weapons 100% without a doubt in Warzone. Like I said, it has the overall fire rate of 750 rounds per minute. The first damage draw is 41 meters, which, like I said, if you make it to the assault rifle category, is actually going to be #1 for assault rifles, but is below average for LMGs. The aim down sight time is 450 milliseconds, which is average for LMGs. Movement speed is 90%, which is average for LMGs. So if a gun is so average, you're probably wondering, why did you just rank in your top 5 guns? And the positives about this gun are the reason. It has some very, very unique attachments which are specific to this gun, and only a couple other guns in the game have this attachment even, and these other guns attachment is nowhere near as good as this one. And the recoil, the accuracy pattern of it is very good. It's very similar to the M4 and the GFUEL, kind of a hybrid between the both, how it pulls a little bit at the end. But the recoil pattern is probably one of the best in the game. I rank it probably up there top 2, top 3 with the GFUEL for sure. It basically reminds me of the GFUEL in the LMG form. And you guys know the GFUEL is probably the most popular, everyone's favorite gun. And if this is the GFUEL LMG, you guys are probably really going to like it. So the #1 attachment to give you guys the best recoil pattern is going to be the Summit long barrel. It's the longest long barrel. The no stock attachment is an absolutely amazing attachment for this gun, very similar to that of the GFUEL. And the unique attachment that makes this gun an absolute god gun to me is the 60 round mag. It has all positives, absolutely no negatives at all. Obviously, it's going to give you guys a faster movement speed, faster aim down sight time, a faster sprint to fire speed, and your reload time is almost tripled. As far as normally, it's very slow. With the 60 round mag, the reload time is incredibly faster, and it's a lot faster than it should be for a gun that has 60 round mags in its LMG. That's what makes the attachment probably the best thing about this gun. And the Tac Laser is absolutely the #1 attachment to use if you're trying to improve your aim down sight time to help take this from an LMG to an AR level. It gives a 20% increase to your overall aim down sight time, which is the most I've seen on a weapon so far in Modern Warfare. It also significantly helps with your first shot accuracy, helps make your idle sway a lot less. This is probably the #1 attachment I always recommend the most in Warzone, and on this gun in specific, due to the fact that it helps your aim down sight time so incredibly, I 100% recommend using this. So obviously, like I said, the Summit barrel is the best, the no stock is the best, and the 60 round mag is the best. Those 3 attachments are going to be pretty much the base of what's going to be your best overall class setup. The 2 different class setups we're going to talk about is the no recoil class, then obviously the mobility class, which is going to give you the fastest movement speed possible, the fastest aim down sight possible. And the no recoil class is basically going to give you guys the best class setup that you guys can absolutely murder people because you have no recoil. Your accuracy is incredible. So the first class setup, like I said, is my favorite. It's what I tried out. I've played for about 3 hours just now trying to figure out what was the best attachments. The no recoil class setup is going to be obviously that long barrel, like I said, is the best attachment. We're going to be stacking that with the rubberized grip, which is an excellent way to get the least amount of recoil possible. Once again, using that 60 round mag. Once again, using that same monolith suppressor, which I recommend as the #1 attachment for Warzone. And our last attachment is going to be the Tac Laser. So you're going to be stacking the first two attachments together to get the least amount of recoil. You're going to be putting that Tac Laser on there. Like I said, is probably the best attachment to use on this, because you're going to also get an improved aims down sight time as well as your idle sway. So your accuracy, as far as your first shot accuracy and your overall vertical recoil, is absolutely going to be amazing. It's probably going to be one of the most accurate guns in the game for sure. And like I said, with that Tac Laser giving such a massive improvement to your aim down sight time, you are 100% going to be a lot better with this overall class setup. That Tac Laser kind of helps make this a really good class setup. Your movement speed's faster, your range is better, your recoil is less, your aim down sight's faster. It pretty much has all positives. There's no negatives at all with this class setup, which is why I think it's probably the best class setup. The mobility class setup is going to be taking all of those things that are going to give you guys faster movement speed, faster aim down sight time. Obviously, putting the mono suppressor first, which is almost every attachment I recommend for Warzone. Once again, with that 60 round mag, this time we're going with the short barrel, which is the para barrel, which is going to help your aim down sight time and your movement speed. And in my testing, the recoil was just a little bit worse. We're going to be stacking it with that stipple grip, which helps your aim down sight time, and obviously your sprint to fire, which stacks that 60 round mag. So your sprint to fire speed with this weapon is going to be very, very good. Definitely a lot higher than it should be for an LMG. And obviously, once again, stacking with that no stock attachment. That's going to give you an 8% faster movement speed, which makes you SMG level movement speed. You're going to get a 250 millisecond aim down sight time, which is AR level, very fast for ARs, which is incredible. And obviously, your sprint out is going to get increased. As far as the recoil, I tried it out using this, and it definitely was pretty good. You know, you would assume no stock is worse, and stacking with that short barrel is going to be a lot worse. And I really didn't notice a big difference. The recoil is obviously vertical, which is very easy to control. So, you know, it was a pretty good class setup. Obviously, it's not going to be an SMG. Definitely not something I recommend. But if you're playing shipment or something like that, it's definitely going to be an excellent class setup for a shipment or a shootouts game mode. So what you guys are going to be looking at on the screen now is actually this gun compared head-to-head to that of the M4 and the GFUEL. If you guys take a look on the left of the screen, this is with the summit barrel for the MK9. I used the M16 and the Archangel barrel for the M4 and the GFUEL, which is the longest long barrel. You guys can see the overall time to kill and up to what range. This gun will actually kill faster at every single range than the M4 and the GFUEL. And like I said, if you put the 60 round mag with the no stock on there, it's going to have a 97% movement speed, which is identical, if not faster than that of the GFUEL. So it's pretty much a better GFUEL, in my opinion. In certain instances, the only place it lacks is in overall, obviously, aim down sight time. But this is an amazing gun. So just based on the fact alone, it has a better time to kill than the M4 and the GFUEL is what makes it so good. So now talking about the overall attachments, so we're taking a look at the unique ones. And the biggest thing to make a note of I want to talk about first is the overall recoil. The recoil is purely and only vertical, very similar to the GFUEL. It doesn't have any variance in side to side, so those attachments that help with your stabilization are basically useless. As you guys know, in every single class I almost always recommend the Commando. I will not be recommending the Commando on this weapon. So pretty much everything I learned, you guys will see on the screen now. This is every single grip that I tested. They all have almost an identical recoil pattern. The biggest difference in choosing what is your best grip, which you guys will probably have noticed on the class setups, none of them had a grip recommended, only recommended the red dot. So the grips on these are basically going to be useless in my opinion on this gun in specific, because all the attachments are just that much better for it. The biggest difference as far as my usual, you guys know I break them down. The operator is probably the best grip for this gun. It only has a worse aim down sight time, and obviously it's going to help with your overall recoil pattern. The Ranger is going to improve your stability, but makes your stray speed worse, which with an LMG making your stray speed worse, I don't recommend at all to ever use. It obviously gave the best overall recoil pattern. And like I said, the Commando is pretty much useless on an LMG, getting a worse movement speed. This weapon has the best stability I've seen out of a base gun. I don't recommend using it. And then the rubberized grip tape, which I did recommend in the class setup, is only good if you stack it with that summit barrel. So if you're trying to get like the best recoil possible, you have to stack it with the summit barrel. That's pretty much the only way to get the rubberized grip on there to give you guys the best advantage. So as far as the barrels go, the Horizon is a pretty good barrel. I honestly don't really recommend it. You're going to get more range, and a slower aim down sight time is almost identical to that of the Summit. But the Summit is going to be the only barrel that's going to give you a better overall recoil for a little bit more range, a little bit slower aim down sight time, and only 1% slower movement speed. So your negatives are very minimal, but it gives you better recoil, which very much helps this weapon. The para barrel, which is the short barrel, is going to give you a 1% faster movement speed, about 10% faster aim down sight time, and your overall stability is a little bit worse. So this attachment would probably be best stacked with the Commando foregrip, and obviously you only get about a 10% worse range. This is definitely a pretty good barrel. Like I said, if you're playing shipment shootouts 24/7, I would definitely 100% recommend this barrel. I recommend this and the long barrel the most. And then talking about the unique attachments, as far as the no stock attachment, you guys will see a screenshot on the screen now. It really had no effect on the recoil at all. Like I said, very similar to the Grau. It is definitely probably my top 3 attachment, if not #1 attachment to use, because you get a 4% faster movement speed and a faster aim down sight time for a little more vertical kick. The one thing that's cool about this weapon is it does have all 5 stocks. The skeleton stock is going to give you a very minimal aim down sight improvement, only at 5%, which you probably won't even notice at all in the game. You get a 15% faster strafe speed, which is an excellent improvement. Takes it from LMG level strafe speed all the way up to AR level strafe speed, which is very, very good. But for a 5% faster aim down sight time, I don't recommend it at all. It's pretty much useless to me. The Tac Laser, once again, being one of the best attachments used in Warzone, improves that aim down sight time, improves that first shot accuracy. With this gun having such an overall accuracy, getting a better first shot accuracy is an excellent attachment to add. Aim down sight time about 10% faster. So if you're asking my honest opinion about this gun, it all is based on your exact class setup. For me, the amount of times I played and tested every single class setup, I tested with the Horizon barrel, I tested with the short barrel, I tested with the long barrel, and I ended up finding out you're just going to have to suck it up and play slow and accept your overall aim down sight time being slow and use that long barrel to give you the best recoil pattern possible. It's the only attachment you need on this gun to give you a good recoil pattern, because the recoil pattern is already so excellent. And the 60 round mag is such an excellent attachment, probably my top 3 attachment in the entire game, up there with like the PKM snatch grip, which is unique to that gun as well. Is definitely a god tier attachment. And like I said, with the no stock being so minimal, those are the 3 only attachments you really need. Just depends if you can use that iron sight or not. For me, you don't really need any grips if you use the long barrel, which helps a lot. And that's pretty much it. I definitely think this is top 5 gun for sure in the game right now. I'm going to make a video very, very soon comparing this to the PKM to decide which is actually the best SMG to use in Call of Duty Warzone. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Leave a comment down below. What is actually your ability? What do you guys think about this gun? Like I said, it's definitely top 5. I would definitely rank it right next to the PKM as the top 5 gun in the game. Make sure you guys use code Trapgod on all of your Scuff and GFUEL purchases. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video.